Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here. So we got some big news. The Washington Commanders have released left tackle Charles Leno. We'll talk about it in today's video, including how much money it'll save in cap space. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. Alrighty, so not something I was expecting today, but let me just read the tweet right here from Ian Rappaport. It says, the Commanders have informed starting left tackle Charles Leno that they are releasing him. Source said he is scheduled for hip surgery next week, back home for spring break. So got my old setup back, so that if it's a different background, that is why. But yeah, not necessarily expecting this today. Not a huge surprise, but I definitely thought that Charles Leno would, there would be a chance he would be on the roster this year. And I guess it's up to personal preference. And, a lot of times the general manager, head coach, they're going to want to bring in their own guys. And when they have a chance to do so, they're going to do that. And Charles Leno, they can create, doing this will create some cap space for them versus, with like Andrew Wiley and Nick Gates, like moving on from those guys, since they're much like fresher contracts, you're not going to make as much money back, create as much money when you move on from those guys. So that's just something to consider as well for the Washington Commanders. Let's look at how much money they'll save. So they'll create about $7.28 million in cap space, not $7.28 like Kime said here. He obviously corrected himself, and he was playing with a bad hip. He's gonna have surgery on it next week. And what I do want to say, shout out Charles Leno. We signed him for very cheap. His first year here, he played well. The next year, it wasn't amazing. Last year was solid. Barely missed any games, was playing through injuries all the time, and was a really good guy in the community. His family was involved in stuff, his wife. So what I do want to say is, again, he had a solid stint here in DC. Was he amazing? No, but he was at times he was a good left tackle. At times also he was below average, and he did have some bad plays, some false starts, and some holdings. But he was the least of our problems the last couple of years. There were a lot bigger problems than Charles Leno. And again, he was a very reliable guy in terms of didn't miss many games, wasn't terrible, and was on an okay contract. So it's not a question, like it's not a move that I'm like, okay, why are they doing this? I understand he's an older guy and he has been dealing with injuries and he's not amazing. He hasn't been playing, at best, he's an average left tackle in this league at this point in his career. Probably, though, below average left tackle in this league. And again, he's getting older, so you can create some cap space moving on from him, get a young left tackle, or you can sign someone else. It is what it is. But this team already had the most cap space in the league, and now they'll create some more. So let me look at it right here. So right now, it says they have about $78 million in cap. Some sites say more, some say less. I'm just going to go with this one right here. But create with Charles Leno, if they release him, and this is pre-June 1st, they'll save $7.28 million. If they cut him post, they'll save around $12 million. So that is something that they could do, because it's not like they really need that extra. Like, it's not like they need they're going to use all their cap space before that June 1st deadline. So they might just wait and create some more if they can to use later in the off season or use in the season, or just to carry over for the next year. It's not like they're going to, they're looking to win the Super Bowl this year and sign everyone they can. But yeah, we'll see what happens here, if it's a pre or post June 1st cut. But either way, they're going to save at least $7.3 million in cap space, or $7.28 million in cap space right here. Yeah, zero of it is guaranteed. You look at Jonathan Allen, same thing right there. Same for Logan Thomas. I would not be surprised if Logan is cut. If they do cut Logan, though, I would sign a veteran tight end. It doesn't have to be a stud, but I would sign a okay tight end for pretty cheap. Logan Thomas's cap number is a lot for the production we're getting from him. $8.3 million, no, just no. So we can cut him and save about $6.5 million. Seems like a no-brainer. Dead money is only $1.7 million versus Leno is $8.3. So I don't know why Logan hasn't already been cut. I think he should be cut. Again, I like him. He's a local guy, and or at least he played at VTech. I think he grew up around here, but regardless, he's a good guy, and he had a really good year here, or a good year here, his first year in Ron Rivera, but then injuries caught up to him, and yeah, after that, it just hasn't been the same with him. So again, love him because he's a fellow Hokie, but it's time to move on, I think, from Logan Thomas and Charles Leno. And then also, you know, you think about Kendall Fuller, also went to Virginia Tech. I would keep him. He's a free agent. I would keep him. I would try to re-sign him. He played really well. He's played really well the last few years. He's been our best corner and one of our best defensive players. Cameron Curl's, you know, question mark if they're going to keep him or not. They've talked to him. He's going to, you know, get paid a decent amount. I would try to bring him back for cheap, you know, for a solid deal. If you can't and you have other safeties you like more, go ahead, because we do have some young guys in, you know, Percy Butler, Derek Forrest, and Quan Martin. You know, none of those guys are studs yet, but like one or two of those guys could be down the line. So maybe that's why they won't go ahead and bring back Cameron Curl, especially since he doesn't have a lot of interceptions. And obviously, it's not the only thing safeties do, but it is a big thing. And if you're not getting interceptions, you're not going to get paid top of the league money. And that's, I think, what Cameron Curl wants. I just don't think he's going to get that. But yeah, just talking about this move again, not surprised. Basically 7.3 million cap space if they do it now. A little bit more if it's a post June 1st cut. They'll save about $12 million. And Logan Thomas, there's no difference. Like if they cut him now or June 1st, there's no difference in the dead money or the cap savings. So you might as well cut him now. I don't know what they're waiting for. The longer they wait, the more likely it seems that, you know, they'll keep him. You look at Nick Gates, if they cut him they're only saving $300K, so it just doesn't really make sense to do that. If they cut him post, they'll save $2 million. Let's see, Wiley is another guy. If they cut him post, they'll save around $4.2 million. If they cut him before, 1.5, so it doesn't make a ton of sense. So maybe they'll cut him. So a lot of, you know, not great contracts that they've worked with, or they have to work with Wiley and Gates, that, you know, guys that aren't going to do anything for us. Probably, I mean, maybe Wiley can or Gates, but I would probably try to move on from them, but it's just hard to with the contracts that they have. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.